Fire in the hole! I'm using this little mini torch to get my charcoal hot because we're going to be cooking on a salt block today. And it's got to come up to temperature slowly or it'll crack. So anyway, stay tuned. We'll teach you all about that. I'm going to be learning right along with you. Hello and welcome once again to my backyard. I hope everybody had a beautiful Christmas and is having a wonderful New Year's. I know I had a great Christmas. Santa Claus doesn't like me that much, but the people in my family love me, and other people love me too, I gotta tell you. Dennis and Becky got me this Himalayan Salt Block. You get it out without dropping it. It's very heavy. It's a chunk of Himalayan salt. It comes with its own little holder so that you don't break it. I also got this knife from my buddy over at Cast Iron Chaos, and I don't even know his name, but let me tell you about this knife. This is a I got it written down here. This is a 10-inch Dexter Russell, and it's made out of carbon steel, which means that you have to take care of it like you do with cast iron pots. And I love it. It's awesome. It's an awesome knife. Thank you, Motomac. I'm not sure if I'm saying your name right, but he's the Cast Iron Chaos guy. I'm going to put a link. I'm going to put an iCard so you can go to his channel and check out Cast Iron Chaos. I got to get the wrapper off of this salt block because we're going to be cooking a steak on this today. And I read up on salt blocks, and my buddy Roll cooked on one, and also Armadillo Pepper. Jeff at Armadillo Pepper has one, and he cooked something on it. It's awesome. That's a 20,000-year-old piece of Himalayan salt, if you can believe that. And I also got for Christmas from Sara and Ommi, got me this meat branding iron. And you can spell out whatever you want. And I wrote Root Boy's Meat. I was going to write Root Boy Cooks, but I only had 2 O's. So I wrote Root Boy's Meat. I'm going to brand my steak with it. So it takes an hour to get this thing hot on the grill. So I'm going to set it on the grill, and after an hour we'll come back and throw a steak on it. So stay tuned. My salt block is on the charcoal on a very low fire. That's going to get hotter as time goes by. It's going to take an hour for that thing to come up to temperature. So we'll check it again in an hour. We're looking for about a 350-degree surface temperature on that salt, and then we'll throw on a ribeye steak. So stay tuned. And my salt block is almost up to temperature. So what I'm going to do now is prep up these ribeyes, and I'm just going to hit them with some Sang stir-fry oil. Just a little bit of Sangs on there. Some nice marbling on that one, boy. Let me tell you what, well, they all look good. Just going to drop a little bit of Sangs on the block. It's not quite hot enough yet. It's only at about 325, and I want to get it up to 350. But we're not going to put any salt on these. We're just going to put some black pepper. And we're going to hope that the salt block is going to take care of salting the steaks for us. I hope so. Anyway, just drop my tongs. Just going to get some black pepper on there. Prep them up with that. And that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to hit that both sides, of course. And I'm going to pick up my tongs. And as soon as that salt block's hot enough, we'll get one on there and see what it looks like. So stay tuned. So it took literally an hour for that thing to get up to 350 degrees, but I think it's ready to cook on. So I'm going to throw one of these ribeyes on there. And it's sizzling nicely. Can you hear that? Yeah. I'm just going to let that go for about 5 minutes on one side, then I'll flip it over. And I'm going to brand it. I'm going to brand that one. It's going to be mine. So stay tuned. My steak's been on the salt block for 5 minutes. I'm going to flip it over. Get it off there and flip it over. and I'm going to brand it. I'm going to let everybody know that that's my meat right there with my new branding iron. Hope I got it hot enough. I think I did. It's a little hard to see. It worked. Root Boy's meat. Can you see that? So I got my steak branded. Now no one can mistake that for their steak. That's my steak. I'm going to let it go for 5 minutes on the other side. And then I will get it off there and get a taste of it, so stay tuned. We'll see if the salt came through. Ladies and gentlemen, the Frosty Root Boy mug. And here's today's beer, Elysian, the Immortal IPA. I can hardly wait to crack into this one. I knew I said I wasn't going to buy any more beer from Elysian, but this one looked good to me. You know, whenever you say IPA, I'm there. And tell us a little bit about it. Refreshing, hoppy, well-balanced. The Immortal's a Northwest take on a classic English-style golden copper color loaded with New World hop flavor. So let's find out. There's only one way to find out, right, Roll? What do we have to do? We got to pour it out and taste it. And it's a beautiful color. Like they said, a beautiful, not exactly a red, but kind of a reddish ale. Elysian, the Immortal IPA. Let's take a sniff of that while my second steak is crackling in the background. Smells great. Smells like hops and barley, like a beer's supposed to. Let's quaff the froth off it, Roll. What do you think? I gotta tell you, that's good beer. Even though Elysian was bought out by Anheuser-Busch InBev, but I think they're still making good beer. I don't think they've been corrupted yet. So anyway, let me get my steak on a plate and take a taste of it. Stay tuned. So my steak has rested comfortably, and I'm going to slice into that puppy. You really can't read the brand on there. It looks like it says Root Boy Eats instead of Root Boy's Meat. But let's slice right in the middle of that. Get a slice of that. See if it's got that. How's that look? Pretty good, huh? That's pretty rare steak. That's the way I like it. You know, some people don't. I do. I'm going to take a piece off of right, I don't know where to take a piece from, right here, I think. Slice a piece right there. Let's see if that salt flavor really comes through. That's a good looking piece of steak right there. Let's see if we get that salt flavor. Well, it's delicious ribeye, but the salt is not, it's not in the foreground, you know, it's kind of in the background. But I'm loving it. That's some good meat right there. I gotta say, tastes as good as any ribeye I ever had. That branding tool didn't work real well because the meat wasn't really, it wasn't, you know, very flat, or else it would have been good. But anyway, there's my salt block ribeye. And that's my video. So you know what I always say. Oh, stay tuned till the end of the video to find out who won the Tango Spice from last week. And come back next week. We may not cook anything good, but we will drink a beer. And this Elysian Immortal IPA is excellent. It's got a beautiful color and a wonderful taste. Even though they were bought out by AB InBev, they're still making good beer. So go up in the iCard and check out Cast Iron Chaos, the dude who gave me this awesome knife. This carbon steel knife. Now I have to clean it and oil it because I used it. Whenever you use it, you have to clean and oil it. But it's really awesome. Awesome steak on the salt block. The salt flavor is not overpowering at all. It's barely got the flavor of salt, to be honest with you. But the steak turned out great. I'm real happy with it. And like I always say, come back next week. We may not cook anything good, but we will drink a beer. Go up and see Cast Iron Chaos. The dude's got it going on. Also check out Pitmaster X and Armadillo Pepper. They both have salt block videos out there. I use their videos as a kind of a tutorials to see how it's going to do this because I never did this before. Anyway, we'll see you later, babies. Bye.